Hey, everybody, we want to welcome you to Life After Religion with Dan and Angela.
Hi, everyone.
And today we have something rather serious to consider to share with you guys today. And it's really been weighing on my heart and Angela's heart to share this information because there's a question I want to ask you, and I want you to think about it sincerely. And the first question is, are Jehovah's Witnesses in danger? I believe they are. I believe they're in grave danger. I think governing body is asking for more obedience, more thoughtlessness, more just close your eyes, blindly follow us. They're growing in power, and I think they're in grave danger. And then my second question was, could Jehovah's Witnesses become dangerous? And I have to say yes. And I don't want to say that. I've got a brother that's in there that I love dearly. I love lots of Jehovah's Witnesses. We see them on the street. They're kind, they're nice. But there's something happening in the organization. There's something very, I'm going to use the word sinister. There's something very uncanny happening in the organization. And one of the things that I realized the other night when I was thinking is that Jehovah's Witnesses do not have the freedom to think. They haven't been given permission. The minute a Jehovah's Witness starts to think and say, maybe there's something wrong here, the governing body comes in and slaps their hands, calls them an apostate. So they have to follow. They're commanded to follow without any question. They're just have to tie their blindfold on and follow. This is dangerous. It's not only dangerous to the witnesses, it's dangerous that they have to blindly follow. They're commanded to follow 100% obedience without question to 9 men. Think about that. Think about that. 100% obedience to 9 men without thinking. Now, here's what's interesting. I'm going to rattle through this kind of quick because it's something we've talked about, but there's a pattern developing that's very scary, very scary. It's getting morbid. The governing body is getting morbid. They're interjecting morbid fear, morbid hate, morbid everything, just morbid. And I'm going to walk you through it. But let's just go through a few things real quick that I'm going to show you that Jehovah's Witnesses have had the opportunity to run for their life. They've had wake-up calls. They've had massive wake-up calls to say, get out of her, my people, get out of false religion, get out of Babylon the Great. And they have not heeded the call. And so I just want to walk you through a few of them here. One of them was this one here. We all know about 1975. This was not small, guys. This was massive. Stadiums were filled all over the world. Stadiums were filled. Chanting, here it is. Here's the day. Here's the day. Then all of a sudden, 75 went by, right? People were selling their homes. People were their whole lives were on hold. They were pioneering right up to the end, and wham, the day passed. Just another day, right? Well, we know governing body twisted everything up, but they should have ran. That organization should have been shut down. They should have been branded false prophets. But somehow this governing body was able to twist their minds, say it really wasn't the right prophecy. Jehovah's given us more light and blah, blah, blah. And then we had the generation prophecy. That was the one I left in. That was the one 70 or 80 years from 1914, the world was going to end. We read the Revelation book, and of course, that day passed. And then we had the overlapping generation, and we know it goes on and on all the way up to 2014. So these were all times I feel where the Holy Spirit's going, hello, it's time to leave. It's time to pack up and get out of here. These are false prophets. But it didn't happen, So here we go. Now we're going into another level of, I believe, testing. I think the governing body wants to test the people to see how indoctrinated they really are. I think they really want to test them.
I think they've already been testing them.
Yes, they have. But here's some more tests, right? Okay, they started selling off kingdom halls. These are kingdom halls we know that they built with their own hands. We worked all into the night. The women cooked, and we were so proud of those kingdom halls that we dedicated them to Jehovah. We should have ran, or Jehovah's Witnesses should have ran when you saw one of those kingdom halls become a church. When you saw a Baptist church move into that kingdom hall, you should have ran.
Run. Yeah.
Yeah, run. You should have run. The reason you should have run is because you know how we feel about Babylon the Great. Basically, what Watchtower did was says, hey, Baptist Church, we have a building for you. How would you like to hit the ground running? How would you like to just be able to, it's built really well. We had our finest brothers put it together. They're insulated, they're wonderful. The sound system's great. How would you like to move in tomorrow and hit the ground running and start your preaching? You know, your Babylonian teaching is what we called it, right? We should have run. Angela said run. We should have run, right? We should have run out of there. When they started begging for money, when they started asking for money, I tell you, the campaign for money right now is more than a Jerry Lewis thing because it's 24/7, you know, the asking for money, that, you know, this big, massive campaign they got, you know, wanting your SUVs, not your SUV, but your motorhomes and, you know, 401ks, property, jewelry, whatever you have, you know, an extra house, right? Jehovah knows what you have and honor Jehovah with your valuable things. So the witnesses should have run. Why should they have run? Because for years we bragged about the fact that we didn't collect money. We didn't ask for money. They are outright asking for money. They're outright guilting you for money. They're actually telling you in the Kingdom Hall, we can help you hook up to your bank account and do direct deposits. I mean, they're asking for money any way they can get it. And so we should have run. We should have run. These are wake-up calls. Or are they tests of obedience, right? Tony Morris, right, with his morbid comment. We've talked about that before. When he made the comment that what did he say?
Not babies.
No, the enemies of Jehovah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you know, the grotesque, morbid way he described it. That's not normal, guys. That's morbid. I mean, just imagining maggots eating our body and you know, the smoke, us going up like smoke. This is morbid hate.
Well, especially, I just want to say this again, you guys, is that who are they talking about? Who is Tony Morris talking about? He was talking about their children, their friends, their relatives, people that they've loved, and we're supposed to be glad. See, this is where it gets morbid. This is where it's really sick. The fact that he says, won't you be glad? How would anyone in their right mind have a thought like, oh, that will be good?
Yes.
No, if you're any kind of normal at all, if you have any kind of heart whatsoever, you would say, oh my gosh, aren't we going to pray for them?
You say he's nuts.
Yeah, I don't want my children, my friends to be genocided by Jehovah. I can't stand the idea of this. They would cringe, but instead they embraced it somehow. And they were glad along with him. And then I think I saw another one where he kind of reiterated it one more time with reminding once again about the won't you be glad. I think he did it twice, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
I saw another one that was different than the ones I saw before. I'm pretty sure. And it's just like, guys, they're trying to get them to think in a certain way. It is brainwashing for sure, because they're being asked to just trust that that's good. Now, when Dan decided that, hey, did we just pass a prophecy? And he asked about it, that immediately they're brainwashing these people and causing them to be tested by how they reacted to when Dan was put on apostate watch for simply asking a question. They're teaching them, do not ask questions or you will be whatever is going to bad happen to you.
Yeah, so, you know, instead of people saying, wow, Tony Morris is nuts, you know, really, Anthony Morris, when he said that, you should have said, man, that's not a godly man.
No.
That's not a godly man wishing dead. When my mother was dying, she was saying, did you come back to Jehovah? She was hoping I'd come back to Jehovah. She was longing for me, not wishing I was dead. So that should have been a reason to run, what Tony Morris did, and Stephen Lett. Isn't that crazy when you think about it? And I know we've talked about these things before, but when a man, right, tells a woman that a baby is an enemy of Jehovah, you think they're cuddly and cute, which we do, right? A woman that holds her baby and bonds with her baby when they're breastfeeding and has this wonderful, intimate connection. Wouldn't you think a man would be nuts? I mean, seriously, wouldn't a man be nuts to tell a woman, you know, or tell the world that babies are an enemy of Jehovah? You'd have to be insane to say words like that. But it's weird. It's weird. This is what's weird, and it gets even worse. The people do nothing. the people just accept it. The people actually kind of rejoiced over Tony Morris. The same thing over Stephen Lett. He's kind of a celebrity in there now, running around, talking all this crazy stuff. Nobody's running. This is what's weird. This is what makes it dangerous. They're just following without any question, 100% obedient without question to men. So the witnesses, yes, they are in danger. They're in danger of becoming dangerous themselves because they're following. And then think about this, another test of their obedience. Now, now a lot of people say when they look at the beards, they go, oh, Jehovah's Witnesses is just pulling back to the restraints so that they'll come back to the Kingdom Hall. If we let them wear beards, they'll come back to the Kingdom Hall. If we let the women wear pants, they'll come back to the Kingdom Hall. I don't think so. I think maybe yes, but I think more so it's a test of their obedience. I think they wanted to see what happened when they told them they could wear beards. It was instantaneous, guys. It wasn't a second before those men just threw away their razors and started coming to the halls with big grins, big beards, as big as they could get them. I mean, oh my God, not even thinking for a moment, not even for a second. Who are these men that tell me after 65 years I can have a beard? Maybe you were an elder who threw a guy off or didn't let him come to the meeting because he had a little bit of shadow on his face. You know what I mean? So this is interesting. I think these are tests. I think these are tests. How far can we push the brothers before they'll do anything, right? They let the women wear pants. You'd think the women would be in an uproar. You'd think the men would be in an uproar. Who the hell are you to tell me at 65 I can have a beard, you freaks? Why are you doing this? The women can wear pants. Happy Anna birthday. Imagine happy Anna birthday. I mean, just buying it, just accepting whatever governing body says without question. The Christmas song that's coming. Don't have to turn in your time, the dress code, everything's changing. I think it's a test of obedience to see how far they can push these people or how far they'll be obedient. And I'm starting to think this, guys, and this is why I did this whole presentation, me and Angela. What is it the governing body could ask the congregation or the brothers to do that they would not do? The governing body could ask the Jehovah's Witnesses to do anything it wants to, and they would do it. They're already showing it. They've showed it here. They've showed it here. They've showed it here. You know what I mean? So isn't that scary? Isn't that scary that the governing body could ask Jehovah's Witnesses to do anything?
And they can say anything and they will do nothing. Like that your babies are an enemy of Jehovah. And that
okay, I guess they're an enemy.
And pets, that they should not be considered wonderful at all. And what are they considered?
Yeah, they don't have any feelings, so it's a form of weirdness that you're loving your dog.
So you should not.
Right, you should not.
And just every kind of thing, just almost like if you're not going to follow along, then get out. If you're not going to, be okay with these changes, whenever we feel like, remember they said that we're going to say some things that you might not like, but we want you to follow them like your life depended on it, because it does. So these are little tests to see how far you'll go. And if you complain and anything, then they'll know, ooh, we got a rebel here. Let's get them out. And this is maybe a clean out phase right here.
Yeah.
To see who's going to stick with the obedience.
And most of them, a lot of them are leaving, but there's a lot of them that are staying.
Yeah.
And this is where I'm getting to. This is where it's getting very, very dangerous, because what's happened is monkey says, monkey does. The governing body is the monkey who says, and the JWs are the monkeys who do 100% without question.
That's right. That's what they
without thinking. They don't have permission to think. Witnesses, Jehovah's Witnesses, do not have permission to think for themselves. And I even wonder when it comes to prayer, why do they need Jehovah? Why do Jehovah's Witnesses need Jehovah when they have governing body? They don't. Governing body says we're the mediator. We're the ones who hear Jehovah's voice and give you your spiritual food at the proper time. Jehovah's Witnesses do not need Jehovah. They've got governing body. Governing body has assumed that position. I even heard the other day they're singing songs to the governing body. There's a new song where they're praising governing body. You go into most churches, they're praising God or praising Jesus, but they're praising governing body. I guess and the witnesses are just going like this, right along with it. Babies are an enemy of Jehovah. You know, those who leave deserve to die. You know, it's insane, but there's a pattern. There's something else going on here, something much deeper, something much more. And that is what I want to talk about here. What is next? What will the governing body ask next? And that is very interesting to me. And I'm going to break this down. This is very important. The governing body has pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and inserted this and inserted that. And they just got a bunch of people that go, cool, cool. I can wear a beard. Cool. We can wear pants. Cool. We can do whatever we want. Oh, cool. They sold more halls. Totally nobody there.
You know what I wonder, Dan? You know how like you questioned the 1975, it was the 1975 prophecy that you questioned?
Generation.
The generation prophecy.
Right after that one.
And he said, did we just pass a prophecy, you know? And next thing you
Started
know,
to think.
yeah, I started to think. And
I didn't know I didn't have permission to think. And I started to think, I said, did we pass a prophecy, the generation prophecy?
So what I'm wondering is when people start questioning, start thinking, and start questioning beards, pants, and a birthday, Christmas song, you don't have to turn in your time, dress code stuff, whatever comes next, right?
Right.
Are they going to be in trouble for questioning?
Right.
I'm just saying. I mean, you did that. You got a letter from Brooklyn, New York saying, get that guy on a apostate watch.
That's right.
You know, and
that's right. Just for thinking, just for asking an honest question.
Right, because they accused him falsely of saying that he was studying literature that he shouldn't be studying.
And I wasn't.
No.
It was just a question that came up because we were going to the assembly to get new instruction, new this. But here's something that I think is very, very dangerous. And it's right here. What's next? The convention. They said, I'm wondering this, and I want to throw it out to you guys for consideration.
Yeah, and if it happens, to realize that, or even begins to happen, that they can be forewarned.
Yeah.
Forewarned is you, whatever that's saying.
Yeah, be forewarned. The governing body could be coming after your home or your equity in your home.
Well, they did in 1975.
Yeah, well, they're coming after, they're coming after, you know, the big message now is honor Jehovah with your valuable things. And there's been a lot of twisted, freaky stuff from Stephen Lett and different ones about, you know, Jehovah knowing how much money you have and guilting and guilting and guilting. Now, here's where I'm going to go deep, guys. This is where I'm going to go deep, right here. I'm going to get rid of this, and we're going to go here. There's a dangerous pattern happening right now in Watchtower, very dangerous pattern. And we already talked about Tony Morris. He was saying basically, be detached. Don't be attached to family. Family are going to be, the maggots are going to be eating on them, right? They're going to go up and smoke. Don't be attached to family.
Don't want anybody to complain. Just gonna fix it. You know. All right, there we go.
Anybody outside the Kingdom Hall, outside the doors of Kingdom Hall, will go up like smoke. Those are Jehovah's enemies. Anybody outside of the organization is enemy. So he was preaching detachment, detached. Very morbid, you know, kind of like let the slaughter begin, right?
Did you mean be attached or be detached? You meant to say be detached?
Yeah, don't be attached.
Be attached.
Don't
your family.
be attached.
Gotcha.
Your family. So he's preaching. It's morbid. It's morbid hate. Okay. Then you come down here to Stephen Lett, and he brought the babies in. Now this is a pattern. What's happening here, guys? This is a pattern. He says Stephen Lett says the same thing. Don't be attached to your babies. Think about that. I mean, when you say babies are an enemy of Jehovah till proven otherwise, he's telling you detach. Why are they telling you detach? Why are they telling you be so detached from your family and they're going to go up and smoke?
And
why are they using
the ones that have left?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, or anybody outside the Kingdom Hall is going up and smoke. That's Jehovah's enemies. Anybody outside the doors of Kingdom Hall.
Or don't agree.
Yeah, and they're using morbid hate. You know, maggots eating on the bodies. You know, I mean, it's morbid.
Blow out the candle.
You know, and then him to be so graphic to say babies are an enemy of Jehovah. This is a dangerous pattern happening here. These are men advancing from bad to worse, from bad to very bad. You don't say this. You don't say this. Now, the women should have ran. The women should have told their husbands, knocked them on the head and said, we're getting out of here. These guys are nuts. They didn't. They stayed in.
We didn't complain about either.
Right.
Just saying.
And so, like Angela said, animals as well, be detached from your animals. They can't feel your love. They can't give or receive love. Don't kiss on your animal. Don't be attached to your animals. But here's the third element that's very, very scary. This is dark. To me, this is as dark as it gets. At the assembly, the 2023 convention, the drama, it says, commit your way to Jehovah. They were telling them not to be attached to their homes or belongings. Why? Why are they telling them detach from your family, detach from your babies, detach from your property? Now, here's the thing about Watchtower and property. Watchtower loves property. They love to buy and sell and exchange, and they're realtors. You know what I mean? They're in the
Real
business.
estate business.
They're in the real estate business. They love property. But why are they trying to tell their own people to detach from their belongings? When me and Angela watched that drama, it was freaky. It was freaky. The whole beginning, the starting of it, them in concentration camps and the music, and Jehovah's people are having to go through persecution and this and that. But the message in that movie was leave your shit behind. Don't think about it. Don't look back. It was like Angela said the other day about Lot's wife. Don't look back. Don't look back. Leave it all and don't look back.
Well, and the one guy in the drama, he thought, you know what? I just want to go home. And so he left everybody and he went back to his home. But guess what? When he got there, it was all burned down. That's the way the governing body decided to tell it, that don't even bother thinking about it, because well, look, we're right. We know what's best for you. If you bother going back, it's not going to be there anymore, most likely. So don't even bother. So the guy goes back and everything's burnt. All he sees is a little partial Awake magazine or something. And so he's like, oh my God, I did the wrong thing. I should never have left. And so see, it's giving a message of don't even look back.
Yeah.
Don't even look back.
Your stuff is of no value. They even showed cars on the road as they were leaving, and Jehovah was like, flee, flee, flee. It wasn't Jehovah's governing body, flee, flee. And they packed their cars up, and then they were showing the futility of having a car loaded with stuff because they were breaking down on the side of the road.
He had to leave it.
So that was the belongings, right?
So don't even bother with belongings either.
Don't take your belongings.
It's just
Don't
gonna weigh
take
you
anything.
down.
Flee, flee, flee.
Leave your stuff.
Your
leave
home don't
everything.
mean nothing. So governing bodies really pushing this idea that your home has no meaning. It shouldn't be important to you.
The only thing you should take is your to-go bags. So do not pack
Yep.
your car with belongings. They've clearly made this clear. Leave your belongings
Yes.
to us, right?
Yeah.
To us.
That's the question. Who are we going to leave the belongings to? This is what leads me to believe there's a sinister plan in here. There's a sinister plan. I can't imagine. I could never tell somebody your house is not important to you. But if your baby's not that important, most people think if they have a home, they need a home to have their baby grow up in or their
And
children
raise
grow
your
up.
family properly.
But babies are an enemy of Jehovah. Well, you don't need a
Stability.
home. Stability. A home is stability. But they're saying to be loose. They're saying to just loose that home.
Be ready to give it up.
Be ready to give it up.
Whenever we say, moment's notice.
Yeah, so it's interesting, and part of my speculation is Watchtower going to do some joint venture partner on your home. Is governing body going to ask? This is just my perspective. I'm looking forward to hearing there's a possibility that governing body could ask to be a joint partner on your lien, or what do you call it? Is it a lien?
Your deed.
On your deed for your home, and be able to use the equity as it needs. Because right now they've got a massive campaign for money, right?
Yeah, they could do a home equity line of credit, ask everybody who could to do a home equity line of credit, and then they draw on it whenever they need
and
to.
say, boy, we could build that video center down there in New York.
Yeah.
The media center, we could have it built like that. And if everybody would just give that money that they're sitting on, right? The money that you're sitting on in your home, you might have $100,000 or $200,000 in there. And if we were able to use some of that, then you could have maybe a small payment. And that would be a wonderful honoring Jehovah with your valuable things. I think that's coming next.
And then also too, if anything, they could say something like this: if anything should happen, then we're on your deed, and then your home will automatically be given, to us. And so it's just like if anything goes on, if anything happens, it'll be in good hands, and we'll utilize it to finish up this work.
That's right. Yes, it could be your home, your equity, anything. And I think that's coming down the pike because they
Just a
wouldn't,
gut feeling.
yeah, because they wouldn't be spending so much time. Why on earth? When we were at that assembly, we were like, why on earth are they saying leave your homes and your possessions and flee the wilderness? There wasn't no paradise in the wilderness. It was stay here till further notice, till governing body decides what they're going to do with all your shit.
It seems like a FEMA camp desert to me.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
I think it's this. I think it's time for you Jehovah's Witnesses to wake up, to turn on your bullshit meter. Turn it on before you lose everything. Get out of there. There's a warning in the Bible. It says if you don't get out of Babylon the Great, the world empire, false religion, you will be crushed under it. You will be destroyed with it. It will take you with them. And that's what's happening to Watchtower right now. But we know they love property. They'll give a kingdom hall to anybody. They'll give a kingdom hall to a pedophile unit. They'll give a kingdom hall to a religion. They'll give a kingdom hall to whoever. It doesn't matter. They just want the money. And so why would they tell you your property is worthless when they like property? They're telling you it's worthless because I believe they're going to try to steal it from you. I really do.
They already did that to the kingdom halls.
They did.
They were individually owned by each and every, group. And they all had worked hard with their sweat equity that they put into it. And then they said, well, for the sake of protection, insurance, liability issues, lawsuits, all of that, we want you to sign them over to us for protection. Bull pucky.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
No, I think the BS meter's got to be up there on right now. When I see this stuff, when I see detached from your babies, detached from your family, detached from your homes and property, oh my God. I mean, that's asking a lot.
It's just bit by bit, like step ladder.
Yes.
Preparing you to just blindly follow and go up the step exactly the way we say, as if your life depends on it, because quote unquote, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
So I think there's trouble, big trouble brewing. I think this massive campaign, Watchtower is going to cry that they need money. They've got a bunch of people that are brainwashed, good people that are brainwashed, and they don't care. I don't think they care. I think they're going to go after their property. That is my personal thing. You do not have to agree with me, but I don't know. It seems like the writing's on the wall.
And guys, everything like this is always done in small little increments. So, a year ago, they put out the whole thing at the drama, commit your way to Jehovah and follow us like your life depends on it, because it does. They put all of that out, showed you what they're going to be wanting, and showed you what's ahead.
Yeah.
And now it's getting down to the real deal. It's always advancing. The evil is advancing.
Yes.
And so I don't know, when people want money, a lot of money, it's never enough when they get that much. They want more and more and more. They always need more. And then there's also the situation where I'm sorry, but they are being sued all over the place. And that does take money. They're wanting to do these big, huge centers, but they've been selling big property too, not just the kingdom halls, but some big property. And so that's kind of weird. I mean, if your whole goal is to do a lot of media to get stuff out to the world, why shut down? I don't know. It's just kind of curious to me. So it just seems like, I don't know, something more than what they're saying. They're not going to tell you that why they want all this money exactly. They're just going to tell you one thing, and that's it. It's to advance the kingdom. That's it. They're not going to tell you. They don't tell you things. Do they show you their financial records like a lot of churches do at the end of the year, show you how the money was spent and allotted and all that, and how much they spent in each department? Do you have any knowledge of that? No. And they're not going to let you have either. The World Church I was in, Worldwide Church of God, they became under a quote receivership of the state of California because of this very thing, because no one they suspected and they were worried that they were mismanaging and taking advantage of the people and using the money in ways that was not really what they said they were using it for. And with no accountability, when Worldwide Church of God, there was none to us people that were in the church. And here, there's no accountability either. It's where it goes corrupt. It's where it goes south. So I think it's very logical to go down this road. You must at least think it and be prepared in case that happens to do what you need to do. Let's just say they did do it. Let's just say they did say, we want you to give over your home to us, or we want you to give us your equity or make it available to us or something like that. Are you prepared to say, okay, absolutely, no problem? Or are you not? And if you're not prepared to do that, think about this. you will be kicked out, shunned, excommunicated, whatever you call it. Whatever you call it, not
You still leave now.
yeah, but I'm saying be prepared for them to say, get out, Ben. You won't obey Jehovah. You don't honor him with your things. You don't trust the leadership, then get out. I mean, I really do mean
Yeah.
that.
And do you want to, and honestly, ask yourself the question, do you want to live in a FEMA camp? I mean, was that what they said to us years ago? They didn't tell us we were going to leave in FEMA camps. They said we were going to be preaching the good news and they were going to try to stop us. The world was going to try to stop us, and it would be like putting a finger in Jehovah's eyeballs, and Jehovah would come over and wipe them all out. And now they're saying leave your homes and go into FEMA camps. So I want to tell you this: if you don't want to end up in a FEMA camp, if you don't want to end up out in the wilderness in a FEMA camp with nowhere to return because you did whatever with your home, because you just abandoned it and said it's not important, the governing body convinced you it's not important, you don't have to raise your kids in it, you don't have to do anything, it's just a piece of nothing, right? It's going to be rubble anyway. If you want to live like that, if you want to end up in the wilderness without a home, with nowhere to return, this is what the governing body's promising you. This is the new promise. Do not be attached to your home. So anyway,
I had just a horrible thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
Guys. I hate to say this, what I'm about ready to say, but let's just say that everybody did sign over their properties, everyone, and the whole entire congregation and each congregation. And then they all got sent to FEMA camps as told by the governing body, and off they went. And let's just say that it was just a ploy, because then they're far away and we have the deeds to your property. Why not just get rid of you? I mean, the temptation is great at that point. And if things didn't go the way that they thought, and they've got you at FEMA camps, and oh, it's not ending yet, it looks like we didn't have the thing we thought was going to happen. Do you think they're just going to be glad to let you come back and retake over your properties? I say no. I say that it could be another one of those Jim Jones things, because the temptation is great, because they got in their hands your deed with their name on it,
Right.
and the power to keep it.
Did they care?
And now that they have to give it back, now that everything didn't go as planned, and now you need to come back. I say, yikes, it could be danger here, guys.
Yeah, and they didn't care what happened with the Kingdom Halls. They didn't care that you built them and they gave them to churches
No,
and
they didn't.
marijuana clinics, and I mean, they didn't care whatsoever. And so, like Angela said, they don't care. And you've got to ask, who's running these FEMA camps? Who's giving you linens? Do they already have this built out in the forest, or is this government?
Yeah, they were giving rations, like a towel and a sheet and clothing, whatever. Everybody was given the same thing when they went into this camp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really messed up, guys.
This is really some strange stuff, guys. What they're asking you to do, is disgusting. And I wouldn't go for it anymore. I would draw the line in the sand. You've got to turn on the BS meter and say, these people are off the court.
Oh God.
And they're becoming dangerous.
And guess what?
And people that follow men blindly become dangerous as well.
They do.
And the witnesses, I mean, they're at a point where it doesn't matter. From what we've seen here, it doesn't matter what the governing body tells them. They go, okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. It doesn't matter. That is scary.
It is, because when they go to the camp, what are they going to be thinking? They pre-train them to believe that their family members that left are enemies of Jehovah, are babies who, whatever. Well, they're enemies of Jehovah until they're baptized anyway. I mean, on and on. They cut yourself off from, what normally should matter to you. And so it just gets really creepy, scummy, corrupt.
Yeah. And what if the people that are being wiped out are you? You're saying, Jehovah's going to come in and wipe everybody out and, destroy everything. And, what if it's you that running off to a FEMA camp or whatever, and you have no home to come back to, you have nothing, and you believe it's destroyed, and you're just blindly following these men right into the wilderness. You don't even know where you're going. Just get to the camp, just pray and get to the camp. There was no defining at the convention. What is the camp? Who set up the camp? Does Jehovah have a camp? There's nothing. So to me, it would have to be government camps. And do governments have your best interest in mind?
But they've already planted in your mind that these bad people, that's not here anymore, that these people who left Jehovah or were kicked out for whatever reason are enemies. And aren't you going to be glad when they're gone? So when you're in the FEMA camp, you're not going to be thinking, oh, I wonder if so-and-so made it. No. You've already been trained to believe that they're enemies of Jehovah. he's going to wipe them out. Like, and so you're not looking at that. You're not looking at anything like that. That's already closed in your heart, closed in your mind. They've already pre-planned that you don't worry about such things. These people are goners. Your kids, your that were kicked out, your friends, your family. You should have no thought whatsoever. You're in a good place, and don't look back like Lot's wife. Do not look back. I think they might even use that line. I would not even doubt it one single bit. Do not look back. Do not wish that your family were with you right now. They were enemies of Jehovah. Don't be like Lot's wife. Do not look back.
That's right.
Or you'll be turned into a pillar of salt, which means we will annihilate you. Just saying.
Yeah. So guys, gals, we just want to say, Jehovah's Witnesses, I think you're being tapped on the shoulder again. I think the Holy Spirit's saying, wake up here, wake up here, wake up here. What is going on? What is going on? Something stinks. Something feels uneasy. There's unrest in your soul. Listen to that. Tune into that. Tune into what's going on inside. Are you starting to become scared of these leaders? You should be. Are you starting to become frightened? What are they asking you to do? What could they ask you to do? You got to start asking yourself that. What could these guys ask me to do that I wouldn't do? I would do anything at present. And boy, to be asked to leave your home behind and your belongings and your children. And, this is insane, guys. This is scary business. This is dangerous. These are dangerous patterns that are happening here. I'm not exaggerating. These are dangerous patterns. It is time to wake up. It is time to throw some water in your face. Throw some water on your face. Wake up. Wake up. It's time to wake up. Pray to Jehovah. Pray to God. Ask, is this right? Is this right what these men are doing? What's going on? You're not under their spell. You can bow your head and pray. You can ask God. You need to ask God, is this right? And listen for the answer, because you're in great danger. You're in great danger right now. So anyway, that's really what we wanted to say today, guys.
Yeah, just one final thing is that, that is a pattern of a cult. That they get you to turn against each other. So when I think about, so you guys know that I'm not an ex-Jehovah's Witness, I'm an ex-Worldwide Church of God. But you guys had those back rooms where people are constantly being called into because they broke some rule or some dogma that the Jehovah's Witnesses have come up with. So they go back there and they're questioned into the middle of the night. And this goes on where someone tells on somebody, oh, I saw so-and-so disrespect their husband the other day. And then the elders are calling them in the back room. So it's one of those things that cults do where they get you to tattle on the other members so that they can, scrutinize you and punish you and make you an example to everybody else. And so this is the kind of creepiness that I feel could happen, could get worse. It's already been really bad in my way of looking at it from all the phone calls that Dan and I have received. And it's so much information about the backroom instances that go on. And I think that's a plan to make everyone very obedient, and you get brownie points for telling on people. That just causes things that will escalate to very possibly death. So you need to be careful because, let's just say that it got really strong that way. And the next thing they're knowing that they're doing is saying, what Jehovah is saying that we need to kill those people. It just could escalate to that. I'm just saying this could be like a Jim Jones, David Koresh kind of crapola that goes on because you're being so obedient to men and you're tattling on each other and you're getting each other in trouble. And now they're telling you we've got to get rid of these people. I'm just saying, guys, this could be very dangerous, and you could really be in a lot of danger doing something that you will later very much regret because your heart's already detached from what's normal already. That's something you really do need to realize if you're still in right now.
Yeah, and these men love that position. They love the position of medium. They love being adored as God's special anointed remnant. They love the adoration of it.
Yeah,
and it said those narcissistic men would advance from bad to worse. And so here we go, guys. Here we go. Pay attention. Throw some water in your face. Time to wake up. But we just wanted to leave that with you today, guys. Just a solemn message today to, think about these things, consider these things. These things are happening. They're not a figment of our imagination. They're right out in front of you. You can see them for yourself, how far they go, what they do with your property or what they tell you to do. That's all a question, but it is advancing into some very extreme, morbid, crazy
It
ways.
does seem that way, guys.
Yes. So anyway, guys, that's it. And they're on a money hunt. They're on a money grab right now, big time money grab. So that's why I was thinking maybe the homes, that abandoning the homes sounds awful strange to tell people to abandon their homes. I mean,
Yeah, and
geez,
we
yikes.
don't know what the new convention, what they're saying.
Right.
that
I
will
heard
be
there's a pretty big
curious.
money push there too.
Oh, that's right, the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
guys, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. If you think the video is helpful, please pass it on and give it to somebody else so that they can tune in and maybe have an opportunity to rethink what's happening to them, rethink what it is being told to them, and rethink what it is that they're doing blindly without question. And so that they can wake up, hopefully. All right, guys, thank you so much. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next video.
Yep. Over and out.
All right, over and out.